Alright, welcome back. Linkage institutions, the media. Alright, so libel. So this is a rule of something that the media is not allowed to engage in. What is libel? Libel is a written lie. So if you think of, if you know what slander is a spoken lie. Libel is just the written version of that. So in a newspaper or something like that. Alright, libel is illegal. Alright, that's the first thing. So you're not allowed to commit libel. That is a crime. To convict a person of libel, however, you have to prove 4 things, and this is where it gets difficult. You have to prove that the statement was untrue. That's pretty easy. Just show that it wasn't true. You have to prove that it harmed the person. So they were negatively affected in some way, their earning potential has decreased, people aren't going to their place of business, or they are being treated negatively by people. That's relatively easy as well. The third, and especially the fourth, are a lot tougher. Third is that you showed a reckless disregard for the truth. So you should have done a lot more, you meaning the journalist, should have done a lot more to make sure that what they are printing was probably true. And so you showed a reckless disregard. You did not try to, prove that that thing was right before you said it. The last one, malicious intent. That means that you did this on purpose. You were actively trying to hurt the person. And that one is very difficult to prove. So as a result, in this country, it is very rare to convict people of libel. And just so that you're aware, things like tabloids, the Supreme Court has actually ruled that people don't believe tabloids, that tabloids are absurd, and so they're not meant to be taken literally. And so you can say that Dick Cheney is a robot, even though he probably is not actually a robot. You can say that because nobody's actually supposed to believe that, so that isn't libel, is what the Supreme Court has ruled. Alright, we have this term framing. Framing is how an issue is presented. Okay, so on the right-hand side, you have, I think you probably recognize these, it's getting further and further away from this, but I guess it's been, like 4 or 5 years now? Trayvon Martin and George Zimmerman. And so depending on which 2 pictures you show, you can frame this issue very differently. So the top 2 pictures, you have this smiling little boy, and you have this, frowning, menacing looking dude in an orange shirt. I don't know if that's a jail outfit. Is that a mugshot? I don't even know. I can't tell. I mean, it's not, but, that's the kind of thing. So you have where Zimmerman looks like he is a threat, and this poor little boy, right? And so you frame the issue that way, and it's like, oh my God, how could he? Then, if you go the other way, you show the bottom 2 pictures, and now you have, Trayvon Martin trying to look hard a little bit. Can't tell, does he actually have a grill there? But it looks like he's trying to act like he does at the very least. And then you have smiling, choir boy in a suit and tie. George Zimmerman looks like an all-American citizen. So how you frame an issue, it can affect what we think of it, what the public thinks. So depending on, who's the victim here or who's the aggressor, just by the choice of photographs that you show can affect that sort of thing. Another example would be the unemployment rate. So I'm going to give you 2 factually, this is a real graphic up to 2015 right now. This is August of 2015, and the unemployment rate is 4.9%. So I could say truthfully that while Obama has been president, the unemployment rate has fallen by more than half, that it was over 10%, and now it is less than 5%. So I'm implying that Obama has done a great job, and that is a fully true statement. Or I could go the other way and say that the unemployment rate is still higher than it was during much of George Bush's term. That is also an accurate statement. So one way I'm framing it to say that Obama's done great because it was 10% and now it's less than 5%. The other way I'm like, yeah, but he still hasn't gotten it down to where it was under Bush. It's 4.9 now and it was 4.7 then. So how I present the issue, again, affects what we think. And then we have a term leaks and trial balloons. Okay, so a leak, information from unnamed sources, and it can be used to build support for or sometimes to kill an idea. So this is, I would put an example of this. So I would write in your notes. An example of a leak would be an anonymous or a source within the Obama administration. A source within the Obama administration said blah, 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 blah. You don't know who the person is, so it's unnamed, anonymous. A source within the Obama administration. And it might be something saying, about some kind of education policy he's trying to do, or whatever the policy, it doesn't matter. But they're going to give you more information. Now, their name isn't on it, and they're not out there, but they're letting the public, letting the journalists know some additional information, usually trying to build support for an idea without having the president actually go out and put his face on this. So rather than Obama walking out and standing behind a lectern and getting asked questions and him saying that he supports such and such idea, instead they do it anonymously, and they can kind of build support for it before they make Obama go out there. Similarly, they can do a trial balloon. This is to test public opinion by having an ally outside of government, so this would be a journalist, outside of government, suggest a government action and then gauge the public reaction. So, Obama administration, they have, let's say, they have some journalist that is friendly with them, and they say, hey, we want you to write an article. Actually, let me not give you fictional. I have bottom left-hand corner, Iran. This is the Bush administration. This is 2007. And the Bush administration was thinking quite strongly about taking military action against Iran, about having strikes and going after their nuclear facilities in 2007. And rather than President Bush go on TV and say that that's what they were thinking about, what they did is they had some conservative writers in important newspapers and Fox News. What they did was they made the argument for the Bush administration. And so I remember there's a clip, and if you remind me, I might show you in class, Sean Hannity, a conservative Republican commentator, and he did this whole special, or a segment on his show, about how we needed to attack Iran, how those attacks would look, what we would target. And so basically this is the Bush administration wanted Hannity to say this, and he said it for them. And then the idea was, all right, now let's sit back and see what the public thinks about that idea. If the public likes the idea, then we'll come out and we'll be in favor of it too, and we'll do it. If the public hates the idea and is like, what are you thinking, Sean Hannity, then the government, obviously, they have deniability because they didn't say that, just, crazy Sean Hannity said it. It turned out that the public was not excited about trying to go to another war. We were already in Iraq, already in Afghanistan, and we didn't want to go to Iran also. So it became very negative. So guess what the Bush administration did? Nothing. They didn't do it. They never really spoke about it. The idea just kind of faded away. And so that's the benefit of using a trial balloon. They were able to test public opinion without actually putting their own names on it. And this has been a La Money production.